If you're watching this right now, it's not by chance. The universe has a way of guiding you exactly where you need to be. And this message found you because your soul has been asking questions. Questions about love, about your future, about the person who will stand beside you in this lifetime. And today, something profound is about to be revealed to you. God has shown me something extraordinary about your romantic destiny, about the person you're meant to marry next. And I need to tell you, it's not who you think it is. This isn't about your past relationships, your current situation, or even the person you've been hoping would come back into your life. This is about someone the divine has been preparing specifically for you, and the signs are already appearing in your reality, even if you haven't fully recognized them yet. So if you feel that gentle pull in your chest right now, that whisper in your spirit saying, pay attention, then stay with me, because what I'm about to share will change the way you see your romantic future forever. And before we go any deeper into this divine revelation, I want you to know that you're part of a special community here, souls who are awakening to their true path. And if this message is resonating with your heart already, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the guidance that's meant specifically for you. Now, let me ask you something that might surprise you. Have you been feeling a strange restlessness lately? A sense that something is about to shift in your love life, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is? Maybe you've been dreaming more vividly than usual, or noticing repeating numbers like 1111 or 222 appearing everywhere you look. Perhaps you felt drawn to places you don't normally go, or found yourself thinking about qualities in a partner that you never prioritized before. These aren't random occurrences. These are breadcrumbs from the divine, leading you toward a truth that your conscious mind hasn't fully grasped yet. God has been orchestrating something beautiful behind the scenes of your life, arranging circumstances, healing old wounds within you, and preparing you for a love that's completely different from anything you experienced before. And here's what makes this so extraordinary. The person you're going to marry next isn't someone who fits the pattern of your previous relationships. They're not the type you usually go for. They don't match the checklist you've been carrying in your mind. In fact, when you first encounter them, or perhaps when you truly see them for the first time, your logical mind might even resist. You might think they're too different, too unexpected, too outside of what you imagined, but your soul will recognize them immediately. Let me explain something about divine timing and soul contracts. Before you were born into this physical world, your soul made agreements, sacred contracts with other souls who would play important roles in your journey. Some of these souls came into your life to teach you lessons. Some came to help you grow through challenges, and some came to break your heart open so that you could heal what needed healing. Every relationship you've had up until this point, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment you felt like love was passing you by, all of it has been preparation. God has been using every single experience to refine you, to clear away false beliefs about love, to help you release the versions of partnership that were never meant for your highest good. And now, you're approaching a threshold, a sacred moment where everything shifts. The person God has revealed to me, the one you're meant to marry next, carries an energy that's completely aligned with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. This person has been on their own journey of transformation while you've been healing and growing. They've been doing the same work in their own life. They've been learning lessons, releasing old patterns, becoming someone who can meet you at the level of consciousness you've now reached. And here's something that might give you chills. They've been thinking about you too, not necessarily in a conscious way, but their soul has been calling out to yours. In the spiritual realm, you two have already connected. Your higher selves have already recognized this union, and now it's just a matter of divine timing aligning in the physical world. God doesn't reveal these things lightly. When the divine shows me something this specific about someone's romantic destiny, it's because that person is ready. It's because the conditions have been met. It's because both souls have done enough of the inner work that the universe can now bring them together without the relationship repeating old karmic cycles. So what does this person look like spiritually? What is their energetic signature? They carry a calm strength that you'll find deeply attractive. They're not loud or showy about their qualities, but there's a groundedness to them that makes you feel safe in a way you've never quite experienced before. They've been through their own trials, their own dark nights of soul, and they've emerged with wisdom and compassion. They understand pain, which means they'll handle your tender places with care. They're not perfect, and that's actually what makes them perfect for you. Because you've learned that you don't need fantasy, you need real. You need someone who's willing to grow alongside you, who sees relationships as a spiritual practice, who understand that love is both a feeling and a choice you make every single day. This person has a relationship with the divine, though it might not look like what you expect. They might not use the same spiritual language you do. They might not follow the same practices, but they have a deep reverence for something greater than themselves. They pray, they reflect, they seek guidance, and they're humble enough to know they don't have all the answers. And here's where it gets really interesting. The way you're going to meet them or recognize them is going to feel divinely orchestrated in a way that's impossible to deny. You're going to look back on the moment and say, there's no way that was coincidence. God's fingerprints will be all over it. It might happen to a friend you haven't spoken to in years who suddenly reaches out. It might happen in a completely ordinary place, a coffee shop, a bookstore, waiting in line somewhere, but the moment will feel extraordinary. Or perhaps you already know this person, but you've been looking right past them because they didn't match your mental image of your future spouse. God has a sense of humor sometimes, and often the person we're meant to be with has been in our periphery all along, waiting for us to finally have eyes to see them as they truly are. Let me tell you something else the divine has shown me. Your future spouse is going to love you in a way that heals you. There are wounds you carry, some you're aware of and some buried so deep you've forgotten they're there. And this person's love is going to bring gentle healing to those places. Not because they're trying to fix you. You don't need fixing. But because their presence, their consistency, their way of showing up for you is going to create a safe container where those old hurts can finally release. You're going to find yourself becoming softer in this relationship, not weaker, but more open, more trusting, more willing to let love in fully. And that's terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Because to let someone love you that deeply means becoming vulnerable in ways you protected yourself against. But your soul is ready for this. God wouldn't be revealing this to you if you weren't prepared to receive it. Now, I want to address something that might be coming up for you right now. Some of you are thinking about someone specific, someone you hope this message is about. Maybe it's an ex you haven't let go of. Maybe it's someone you've been casually seeing. Maybe it's someone you have feelings for, but nothing has materialized yet. And you're wondering, is this person the one? Could they be who God is talking about? Here's what I need you to understand with gentleness and love. If you're having to force it in your mind, if you're having to convince yourself or make excuses for why it could be them despite evidence to the contrary, then it's probably not them. When it's truly your divine match, there will be a sense of rightness that doesn't require mental gymnastics. You won't be constantly anxious or confused or waiting for them to choose you. The person God has for you will choose you clearly and consistently. They won't leave you guessing about how they feel. They won't play games or keep you in emotional limbo. So if there's someone in your life right now who's keeping you in a state of uncertainty, someone who comes and goes, someone who can't fully commit, I need you to hear this with love. That's not the person. And holding on to them is actually blocking the path for your true divine partner to enter. One of the hardest spiritual lessons is learning to release what's familiar in order to make space for what's meant for us. Sometimes we hold on to relationships, or even just the idea of relationships, because letting go feels like giving up on love entirely. But that's not what's happening here. Letting go of what's not yours is actually an act of faith. It's you telling the universe, I trust that you have something better for me. I trust that what's meant for me won't miss me. I'm willing to release my grip on what I think I want so I can receive what my soul actually needs. And the moment you truly do that, the moment you create that space and mean it from the depth of your heart, everything starts to shift. The universe can finally move on your behalf. Your future spouse is coming into your life at a time when you're stepping into a new level of abundance. And I'm not just talking about romantic abundance, though that's certainly part of it. I'm talking about a general elevation that's happening in your life. Your finances are going to start flowing more easily. Opportunities that seem closed are going to open. Creative projects or work endeavors that felt stuck are going to gain momentum. Your health and energy are going to improve. It's all connected, because this relationship isn't coming to complete you or fix your life. It's coming as a reflection and celebration of the wholeness you've been cultivating within yourself. This person is going to complement the life you're already building, not become the life you've been waiting to start. And that's a significant distinction. For so long, maybe you've been in a holding pattern, thinking you couldn't fully move forward until you had a partner. But God is showing me that you're about to realize you were never on hold at all. You've been building something powerful this whole time, and your future spouse is going to walk into a life you've already started creating, and they're going to be amazed by you. Let's talk about timing for a moment, because I know this is weighing on some of your hearts. When is this going to happen? How much longer do I have to wait? And I understand that question so deeply. You've been patient. You've been doing the work. You've been faithful even when it felt like nothing was changing. But here's what the divine wants you to know. The waiting hasn't been wasted. Every moment has been purposeful. And we're in a season now where things are accelerating. What used to take years is happening in months. What used to take months is happening in weeks. The universe is moving faster because you're ready, because your future spouse is ready, and because the collective consciousness is shifting in a way that's allowing divine unions to come together more quickly. So when I tell you this person is closer than you think, I mean it literally. We're talking about the next several months of your life. Between now and the end of this year, or early into the next, you're going to have an encounter that changes everything. Mark this moment. Remember that you heard this message, because when it happens, you're going to want to come back and say, this is what they were talking about. This is what God was preparing me for. Now, let me share something about the actual relationship itself, the day-to-day reality of being married to this person. Because I don't want you to think this is going to be some perfect fairy tale where nothing is ever difficult. That's not real life, and that's not what God is promising you. What you're being given is a partnership that has spiritual roots, a relationship where both people are committed to growth, to truth, to working through challenges rather than running from them. There will be moments that test you, not because the relationship is wrong, but because real intimacy brings up everything unlike itself. Your fears will surface. Your old patterns will try to reassert themselves. But here's the difference. You'll both have the tools and the willingness to navigate those moments consciously. You'll both understand that the friction isn't a sign to leave. It's an invitation to go deeper, to communicate more honestly, to love each other through the uncomfortable parts of being human. This person is going to see you, truly see you, including the parts you've been afraid to show anyone. And they're not going to run. They're going to stay and say, I'm here for all of it, and you're going to do the same for them. The intimacy you'll share, and I'm talking about emotional, spiritual, and yes, physical intimacy, is going to be unlike anything you've experienced before, because it won't just be two bodies coming together, or even two personalities connecting. It will be two souls recognizing each other, remembering each other, celebrating the reunion that was written in the stars before either of you took your first breath in this lifetime. You're going to feel held in a way that allows you to fully relax into yourself. You're going to feel celebrated for who you actually are, not who you think you need to be to deserve love. And that experience is going to unlock parts of you that have been dormant. Your creativity is going to explode. Your joy is going to become more accessible. Your sense of purpose is going to crystallize, because you're not going to be wasting energy anymore on relationships that drain you, or wondering if you're lovable, or trying to fit yourself into boxes that were never meant for you. You'll finally be free to become the fullest expression of yourself, and your spouse is going to be your biggest cheerleader in that process. I also want to talk about the practical side of this union, because divine matches still have to navigate real-world logistics. This person is likely going to be financially stable or on a solid path towards stability. They take responsibility for their life. They're not looking for someone to rescue them or carry them. They're bringing their own resources to the table. And together you're going to build something that reflects both of your contributions. You might buy a home together, start a business together, travel to places you both dreamed of, create a family if that's in your hearts, or simply build a peaceful, beautiful life that feels like sanctuary. The details will unfold according to what you both desire, but the foundation will be solid. There's going to be trust around money, trust around commitment, trust around fidelity. The anxieties you might have carried from previous relationships where you couldn't quite trust your partner, those are going to dissolve because this person's actions will consistently match their words. And here's another layer that's really important. This relationship is going to impact more than just the two of you. Your union is going to be a light for others. People around you are going to see what you have and feel inspired, not in a way that makes them jealous, but in a way that makes them believe again that real love is possible. You're going to be the couple that others look at and think, that's what I want. That's what I'm holding out for. Your love is going to have a ripple effect, touching your families, your communities, even strangers who observe you together. Because relationships that are built on spiritual foundation and genuine partnership are rare enough that when people encounter them, something shifts in their consciousness. You're going to be teachers without even trying to be. Your marriage is going to be a living testimony to what's possible when two people choose each other consciously and commit to doing the inner work necessary to sustain sacred union. Some of you right now are feeling emotional as you listen to this. You might have tears streaming down your face, and you don't even fully know why. That's your soul recognizing truth. That's confirmation that this message is for you. Your higher self already knows everything I'm telling you. This isn't new information to your spirit. It's just bringing into your conscious awareness what's already been set in motion in the realm of the invisible. And when your soul hears truth, it responds. So if you're feeling something stirring in your chest, if you're feeling hope rising up after maybe a long period of resignation or disappointment, honor that feeling. That's divine encouragement. That's God saying, yes, this is for you. Keep believing. Keep preparing your heart, because I'm about to blow your mind with what I've been putting together for you. Let me address some specific signs that your meeting with this person is imminent. You might start feeling an unusual sense of peace about being single, even if you've been struggling with it for a long time. That peace isn't resignation, it's readiness. It's you finally relaxing into trust that the universe has your back. You might notice yourself naturally releasing old grudges or resentments you've been holding against ex-partners. Not because you're forcing yourself to forgive, but because it just doesn't have the same charge anymore. You're seeing those situations with more clarity and compassion, understanding that everyone was doing the best they could with the awareness they had at the time. You might find yourself feeling more confident and attractive, not because anything about your physical appearance has necessarily changed, but because you're embodying a different energy. You're stepping into your power. You're owning your worth. And that shift in your internal state is literally changing your vibration, making you a match for the love that's meant for you. You might also notice that you're being guided to make changes in your life. Maybe you feel called to move to a new place, or change jobs, or end a friendship that's no longer serving you, or pick up a new hobby. Don't ignore those nudges. The divine is positioning you, getting you into alignment with where you need to be to cross paths with your future spouse. Every choice you make in obedience to your inner guidance is bringing you closer to that divine appointment. And some of you are being guided to do deeper healing work right now. Maybe you're finally ready to go to therapy, or work with a coach, or join a support group, or have that difficult conversation with a family member that you've been avoiding. This isn't a delay to your romantic blessing. It's the final preparation. God is making sure you're truly ready to receive this person and be the partner they deserve in return. I want to take a moment to speak directly to those of you who have been hurt badly in the past. Maybe you've experienced betrayal or abuse or abandonment. Maybe you've been married before and it ended in devastating heartbreak. Maybe you've been cheated on or lied to or made to feel like you were too much or not enough. Your history is valid and your pain is real, and I need you to know that God sees every tear you cried, every lonely night, every moment you wondered if something was wrong with you, every time you questioned if you'd ever find love. None of that was wasted. Every bit of that pain was composting in the soil of your soul, creating rich ground for something beautiful to grow. And the person you're going to marry next is going to honor your story. They're going to understand that you've been through things, and they're not going to be intimidated by that. They're not going to expect you to be perfect or pretend you don't have scars. They're going to love you because of your journey, not in spite of it. Your depth, your resilience, your capacity for compassion that was born from your own suffering. These are going to be qualities they cherish in you. And for those of you who've been single for a long time, maybe years, maybe most of your adult life, and you started to wonder if partnership just isn't in the cards for you, I need you to reject that lie right now. Your time is coming. The length of your wait has nothing to do with your worthiness and everything to do with divine timing and preparation. Some souls require more solitude before union because they have deep work to do individually. Some souls are meant to come to partnership from a place of such complete wholeness that the relationship truly is the cherry on top rather than the foundation of their happiness. That's you. You've been learning to be complete on your own so that when your person arrives, you can choose them from desire rather than need. And that's the healthiest possible foundation for a marriage. Let's also talk about the challenges that might come up when this person first enters your life. Because I mentioned earlier that they might not be what you expect, and that can create some initial resistance. Maybe they're a different age than you usually date. Maybe they have kids from a previous relationship, and you've never seen yourself as a step-parent. Maybe they live in a different city, and you'd have to relocate. Maybe they have a different cultural or religious background. Maybe they work in a field you know nothing about. Whatever the unexpected element is, I need you to stay open. Don't let your preconceived notions block your blessing. God's plans are bigger and better than yours. What looks like a complication from your limited human perspective might actually be the exact thing that makes this relationship perfect. Those kids there might end up being some of the greatest blessings in your life. That different city might be where you finally feel a home. That different background might expand your world in ways you never imagined. Trust that the divine knows what it's doing. There's also going to be a moment early in your connection where you have to choose courage over fear. Maybe it's saying yes to a first date when you're scared. Maybe it's being honest about your feelings when vulnerability feels terrifying. Maybe it's introducing them to your family, even though you're nervous about judgment. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation about what you need in relationship instead of just going along to keep the peace. Whatever that moment is for you, you're going to feel your old patterns try and take over. You're going to hear the voice of fear saying, protect yourself. Don't trust this. You're going to get hurt. But underneath that fear, you're going to hear a quieter voice, the voice of your soul, saying, take the risk. This one is safe. This one is different. And you're going to have to choose which voice to listen to. I'm telling you right now, choose courage. Choose trust. Choose to show up authentically. Because that's the only way this divine union can fully manifest. Both people have to be brave enough to be real. Your future spouse is also going to challenge you in beautiful ways. They're not going to let you hide or play small. They're going to call forth your greatness. They're going to believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. They're going to push you gently toward your dreams and refuse to let you settle for less than what you're capable of. And sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable because growth always is. But you're going to feel the difference between someone pushing you because they don't accept you and someone encouraging you because they see your potential. This person is going to be your biggest fan and your accountability partner all at once. They're going to love you exactly as you are while also supporting you and becoming everything you're meant to be. And you're going to do the same for them. I also want to mention that this relationship is going to have a strong element of friendship at its core. You're going to genuinely like this person. You're going to enjoy spending time with them. You're going to laugh together constantly. You're going to have inside jokes and shared references. You're going to be each other's favorite person to tell things to. That foundation of genuine friendship is what's going to carry you through the inevitable challenges that come with building a life together. Because romantic feelings ebb and flow, but friendship is steady. When you're mad at each other or going through a stressful season or just caught up in the mundane responsibilities of life, that friendship is going to be the glue that keeps you connected. Now I want to give you some practical guidance on what to do while you're waiting for this divine union to manifest. First and most importantly, keep working on yourself. Keep healing. Keep growing. Keep becoming the person you want to be, not for someone else, but for yourself. Your personal development is never wasted. Everything you invest in yourself right now is going to benefit your future marriage. Second, stay open. Don't close your heart just because you've been hurt before. Don't become cynical or bitter. Protect your heart wisely, yes, but don't wall it off completely. Third, trust your intuition. If something feels off about a person or situation, honor that. If something feels right even though it's unexpected, honor that too. Your inner guidance is getting stronger and clearer, and it's going to lead you exactly where you need to go. Fourth, take care of your physical space. Create a home that feels good to you. Make room in your life for a partner, literally and figuratively. Clean out your closet. Buy that bigger bed. Set the table for two, sometimes even though you're eating alone. These are signals to the universe that you're ready to receive. Fifth, practice gratitude for the love that's coming. Start thanking God now for your future spouse. Pray for them. Send them love, even though you don't know who they are yet. Visualize your life together in a way that feels good and exciting. Don't obsess or try to force details, but do allow yourself to feel the joy of what's coming. That positive emotional energy is actually accelerating the manifestation. 6. Say yes to invitations. Get out of your house. Go to that party. Take that class. Join that group. You can't meet anyone new if you're always in the same places doing the same things. Your future spouse might be at that event you almost didn't attend. And finally, release your timeline. I know you want this now, and I understand that, but try and control when and how it happens only creates resistance. Surrender to divine timing while staying actively engaged with your life. That's the sweet spot where miracles happen. I'm getting a very specific message for some of you watching this right now. There's a person you need to forgive before your divine partner can fully enter. It might be an ex. It might be a parent. It might be yourself. This unforgiveness is like a boulder blocking the path, and no matter how much the universe wants to bring your blessing through, it can't flow fully until you move that stone. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life. It just means you're releasing the energetic tie that's keeping you bound to the past. And I know that's hard. I know some of you have every right to be angry, but holding on to that anger is only hurting you, and it's delaying your blessing. So I'm asking you, as an act of faith and self-love, to begin the process of forgiveness. Write a letter you never send. Talk to a therapist. Pray for willingness to forgive even if you can't fully do it yet. Just start. God will meet you in that willingness and help you release what you can't release on your own. There's also something coming full circle in your love life. A cycle that's been repeating is about to end. You're going to see clearly, maybe for the first time, the pattern you've been stuck in, and that awareness is going to set you free. You've been attracting the same type of person over and over, or finding yourself in the same dynamic, or hitting the same wall, and you've wondered what's wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. You've just been working out a karmic pattern, learning a lesson your soul needed to learn, and now you've learned it. The test is over. You passed, and that means the next relationship is going to be different at a fundamental level because you're different. You're not going to tolerate what you used to tolerate. You're not going to ignore red flags. You're not going to abandon yourself to keep someone else comfortable. You've remembered your worth, and that changes everything. Your angels are celebrating right now. I can feel their joy as I share this message with you. They've been guiding you toward this moment for so long, and they're excited that you're finally ready to receive what they've been trying to give you. They've been orchestrating coincidences, sending you signs, whispering in your ear, and now all that divine orchestration is about to pay off in a way you can see and touch and experience. Your spirit guides are working overtime to make sure you're in the right place at the right time, to make sure your energy is clear, to make sure you're vibrating at the frequency of love, so you can magnetize your match. They're so proud of you for not giving up, for continuing to believe in love even when it would have been easier to shut down. That faith is about to be rewarded in a way that exceeds your wildest dreams. And I want to be really clear about something. This person you're going to marry isn't going to complete you. You're already complete. But they're going to complement you in a way that amplifies both of your lights. Together, you're going to be brighter. Together, you're going to accomplish things neither of you could do alone. Together, you're going to create a love that becomes a legacy. Maybe you'll have children or mentor young people. Maybe you'll build a business or create art together. Maybe you'll travel the world and document your journey inspiring others. Maybe you'll simply create a home that becomes a haven for everyone who enters it. Whatever your unique expression is, this partnership is going to be generative. It's going to produce something beautiful in the world, not just for yourselves, but for others too. As we come toward the close of this message, I want you to take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart, and just for a moment, feel into the truth of what I've been sharing with you. Does it resonate? Does something in you say, yes, this is real, this is for me? If so, that's confirmation. Trust it. And if you're feeling any resistance, any doubt, any fear, that's okay too. Just notice it. Don't judge it. And underneath that fear, see if you can find even a small seed of hope, even a tiny willingness to believe that maybe, just maybe, your love story is about to begin. That seed is enough. God can work with that. The universe can work with that. Your angels can work with that. You don't need perfect faith. You just need to be willing to stay open. I want you to know that I see you. I see how brave you've been. I see how you've kept your heart soft, even when life gave you every reason to harden it. I see how you continue to believe in love, even when you felt foolish for doing so. I see how you've shown up for yourself, how you've done the work, how you've prayed and cried and hoped and waited. And I'm here to tell you that none of it was in vain. Every tear was a prayer. Every lonely night was preparation. Every heartbreak was a teacher. And now, you're standing at the threshold of something magnificent. The person God has for you is real. They're out there right now, living their life, getting ready for you the same way you're getting ready for them. And very soon, your paths are going to cross in a way that's undeniably divine. So here's what I want you to do after you finish watching this. I want you to release any attachment to how or when this is going to happen. Just surrender it. Say out loud or in your heart, I trust divine timing. I trust that my person is coming. I trust that God knows what's best for me. And then I want you to go live your life fully. Don't put anything on hold waiting for this person to show up. Pursue your dreams. Invest in your friendships. Take that trip. Start that project. Be so engaged with your own beautiful life that when this person arrives, they're walking into something already amazing. Because you are the prize. You are the blessing. And the right person is going to recognize that immediately. If this message has touched your soul deeply, if you feel like this was meant specifically for you, I want you to do something right now as an act of faith and commitment to your own journey. Leave a comment below and simply write, I am ready. Those 3 words are powerful. They're a declaration to the universe that you're open to receive. And then make sure you're subscribed to this channel because the next message I have for you is going to go even deeper. I'm going to reveal specific signs that your soulmate is about to appear in your physical reality. Signs that are so clear you won't be able to miss them. That video is going to give you practical guidance on exactly what to do when you first meet this person to make sure the connection unfolds in alignment with divine will. You don't want to miss it. So click that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you'll know the moment that video goes live. Remember, your love story is being written by the divine, and it's going to be more beautiful than anything you could have planned for yourself. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust your own worthiness. And most of all, trust that God keeps promises. What's meant for you is already yours in the spiritual realm, and it's making its way to you in the physical right now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying open. Thank you for believing in love. Your person is coming. And when they arrive, you're going to look back on this moment and smile, knowing that the universe was speaking truth to you all along. Until next time, stay open, stay faithful, and know that you are so deeply loved.